Welcome to our show, The Dangers of Microplastics to Health, Part 2 of 2. In the first episode, we have talked about the source and composition of microplastics and how they enter the environment as well as potentially harm humans. Today, we learn about the detrimental effects of microplastics in detail. Nowadays, the majority of clothing contains synthetic fabrics such as nylon or polyester. Clothes like t-shirts, dresses, and jeans may use cotton that is blended with synthetic materials. These man-made fabrics are comprised of plastic fibers. Workers in the fabric manufacturing plant may inhale them. The dimensions of microfibers are an important factor for their toxicity. Finer fibers are easier to eliminate from the airway, while longer fibers are more difficult to expel from the body and may destroy pulmonary cells. The biopersistent ones are more likely to cause acute or chronic lung inflammation. The microplastics do not stay in the factory. Every time synthetic garments are put in the washing machine, a single load could generate up to 700,000 microfibers that eventually end up in the sewage system. In addition to the inhalation pathway, microplastics can also enter the body through ingestion. Peyer's patches are groups of lymphoid follicles where macrophages, dendritic cells, B lymphocytes, and T lymphocytes are found. Peyer's patches line the small intestine and play an important role in immune function. It is responsible for the surveillance of pathogenic microorganisms and activation of the immune response. When foreign particles, such as microplastics, enter the small intestine, they will be engulfed by immune cells. However, if there is a significant number of microplastics ingested and enter the Peyer's patches, they could accumulate in this region. This would disrupt the normal function of particle transportation and surveillance of foreign particles. Eventually, a person's immunity could be compromised, thus making one more susceptible to intrusion of pathogens or toxic particles. In one study, 20% of human immune cells in a petri dish free of microplastics died within a 24-hour period, but when another group of such cells was exposed to microplastics under the same conditions, 60% died. Besides influences on respiratory and gastrointestinal systems, microplastics can also act as carriers of endocrine disruptors. Before we jump into the topic of the endocrine system, let's have a quick overview of it. It is a communicating system that detects the hormone concentration in the bloodstream and delivers this information back to the organ producing the respective hormone. For example, thyroid glands are responsible for making thyroid hormones that control the body's metabolic rates as well as cardiovascular and developmental functions. The endocrine system acts as a throttle or brake to regulate the amount of thyroid hormones created. If one's heartbeat rate is too fast, the negative feedback loop of the endocrine system will send signals back to the thyroid gland to reduce the amount of thyroid hormones being secreted into the bloodstream. Endocrine disruptors, which include phthalates and bisphenol A or BPA, are chemical compounds that act like endogenous hormones or hormones made within our bodies due to similar molecular structures. Both substances are routinely used in plastics production. Serious health issues can arise if chemical compounds mimic endogenous hormones because they can confuse the body. For example, according to a medical literature review published in 2015 in the journal Medicine, bisphenol A can imitate the hormone estrogen and bind to the estrogen receptors to trigger changes in cell proliferation, apoptosis, or programmed cell death or migration. This means that bisphenol A in the body can potentially lead to cancer, where the cells divide uncontrollably, create tumors, and spread in the surrounding tissues. The cancer can also migrate to other parts of the body, known as metastasis. Researchers at Arizona State University, USA, took 47 liver and fat samples from donors and used mass spectrometry to see if there was any evidence of microplastic accumulation. 100% of the samples tested positive for microplastics, and bisphenol A was detected in some of the tissues. It is time for us to rethink plastics and make immediate changes in our habits. Here are some tips to minimize the risks of microplastic waste being introduced to the environment or being in our immediate surroundings. 1. Avoid single-use plastic bags. According to statistics, about 1 trillion single-use bags are used worldwide annually. That equals to nearly 2 million bags utilized every minute. So when you go shopping, make sure to bring your own bags. Always keep one handy when you go out. This is a very important first step to curtail the use of single-use plastics. 2. Buy food in bulk and products with less or no plastic packaging. In 2015 alone, more than half of the discarded plastics in the world came from plastic packaging, over 141 million metric tons. The equator could be circled 10 times by the amount of plastic bubble wrap manufactured each year. 3. Use glass containers instead of plastic ones. Now we know that plastic can potentially carry toxic chemicals that can disrupt the body's endocrine system. We can choose glass. 4. Recycle. When tossing plastic trash, pay attention to ensure it is placed in the correct recycling container. That way we can maximize the amount of plastics being recycled. 5. Avoid cosmetic products that contain microbeads. A single tube of facial scrub can contain up to 330,000 microbeads, which are microplastics that are less than 1 mm in size. Approximately 100,000 plastic particles can go down the drain during a single shower when a shower gel with microbeads is used. According to a report from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, many countries such as Australia, Canada, Italy, Korea, New Zealand, Sweden, the UK, and the US have followed the Netherlands' decision to ban microbeads in cosmetic products in 2014. Your choice as a consumer can make a difference to your health and the environment. 6. Quit smoking. An estimated 4.5 trillion cigarette butts are tossed into the environment each year worldwide. Not everything in a cigarette gets burned when it is smoked. The cigarette filter, also known as the cigarette butt, is made of a type of plastic called cellulose acetate. When it enters the environment, not only does it add to the existing microplastic waste as it breaks down over the years, but it also introduces toxic chemicals and nicotine to the surroundings. Therefore, quitting smoking is a wonderful way to improve health and the environment. 7. Minimize household dust. A study estimated that people in the United States take in 74,000 microplastic pieces annually by eating, drinking, and breathing. Airborne particles might contain microplastics. An investigation of household dust gathered by using a vacuum cleaner found 190 to 670 microfibers per milligram of dust. By doing more vacuuming and cleaning, you may be able to reduce exposure to microplastics and harmful chemicals like phthalates that adhere to dust particles. We hope today's program has changed the way you look at plastics and has provided you with insights on how we can lessen the negative effects of microplastics on our world. Brilliant viewers! Thank you for your company on today's program.